And no, they're not. So there's something behind. I just think the more you do, you're playing with God's work. And so I'm all for work, but just less is more. We don't need a cat eye. I don't know.
Well,
So
and
I
what
thought she looks
happened?
great. I'm giving the rat a compliment. Go on.
You really are. Last
Yeah.
thing I'll say on this is when you go to these plastic surgeons now, I'm sure this has happened to you. They take a photo of your face, of your side, the front, da da da, and then they do sort of show you, oh, this is like AI generated, hypothetically, what you'd look like if you did injections in your chin. If you did, and then then they like it circulates, and then it comes up, and then everything looks refreshed. So they have all the tricks of the trade too to sort of show you like, wow, if you removed your double chin, this is what you'd look like. So all of a sudden, here's where your tits could be. So
I went to Dr.
that version.
Kerouac that did Margaret and Dolores with Laura Jensen. Remember her, Margaret's ex-best friend, the one that Margaret told about, little PR boy told Margaret that Melissa was kissing that one in the back of the car that she told. Remember Laura Jensen, everybody? Well,
Yeah.
Laura drove on down to Dr. Kerouac because he did her facelift, and she goes to him, and I went to him with her because it's far away in Jersey, and he does great work. And I was like, because under my eyes, and he was like, listen, let me tell you something. You're going to go home. You're going to put on a fucking night cream. You're going to go to sleep with cream on every night. And you'll come back in 10 years when I'm not doing this. And I was like, well, that's why I'm here. Thank you. I don't need it. Great. Thanks. So I love that. And it's just like less is more. And that's my advice.
There you go. All right,
Okay.
let's talk about
Sorry.
the
Got me
the
off
back and
track.
what did you believe, first of all, did you think Vicky went too hard for the rat in saying, let's get to the truth of this, which is if you're a horrible mother, you've had many chances to reconcile with Sidney. Sidney feels very strongly about you and get off the show. What was your take on that? You think that was too rough?
I mean, I know people are like children are off limits and blah, blah, blah. And mind you, Sydney's grown up now. I don't really believe in that this is off limits and that's off limits. This is Housewives. We have Jen Shaw in prison. We have Tom Girardi on his way to prison. We have Teresa who was in prison. This is the job. You want 300, 700, $800,000 a year. This is the job. It will bring angst into your life 24 hours a day once you sign up. So I don't necessarily personally think Vicky went too low, really at all. It's just like, here's where I almost side with the rat. And you're gonna, the rat and she scurries, the Tam, is that like, look, if Vicky didn't have, like, why are you doing this? If you were doing this to get your podcast listened to and to get it, revive it, because it already went up to, and it failed within 3, 4, 5 weeks that it was on. No one wants to hear you talk business. Let's not forget, Bravo Bench with me and Anna and Ace was going to be me and Anna and Vicky. And we were going down a road, and this woman was so annoying and wanted to talk about women's issues and business. And I'm like, nobody fucking wants to hear that from you. Okay. Sorry. We'll hear that from Barbara Corcoran or Susie Orman or Oprah. And if you don't talk Housewives, it's the fucking failure. She couldn't get it through her thick head. So we're like, bye bye, Vicky. And now we have Ace, and it all worked out. Go listen to Bravo Bench. So if she's doing this because the light has gone on in her head of like, this is what people want from you, then I actually support that. I actually get it. I mean, it's a business. Go get your coins, girlfriend. But if Vicky didn't have a podcast, I told you I have a lot to say about this. I agree with
Go.
the rat of like, you're not on the show. Now to me, it's like pathetic. You're not on the show. You don't have an orange. The rat is making like $1 million, let's just say, from all of this. This is the shit that's coming out of her mouth. She's earned a paycheck, 900,000, 800, whatever it is. Where's yours? I don't know what you got from being a friend of. So to me, it's like if she didn't have a podcast and she just wants to do this, and this is fun. Now this one's crying. Now Vicky, I'm sure, is upset with things that Tamra said because she said things like, you're one to talk. You chose your boyfriend Brooks over your daughter Brianna. You also chose your boyfriend. Your boyfriend also told my son that he should go beat his wife. So I mean, now Tamra's gone low. Now Vicki can't wake up and read that. If that was about you or anyone listening, and you heard these things about
Vicki's
yourself,
daughter didn't choose.
I know, but you know what? That probably makes her even more like I'm just saying, like now Vicky has angst from hearing Tamra say this, that this man, this scumbag who lied about cancer along with you, chose him over Brianna. Now that's I'm not saying that's true. I'm just saying if someone said that about you and it wasn't true, you would be Vicky must be furious today. Furious. So I'm saying when look at all these people that want to spar with me. Anyone you know that I used to be friends with that likes to talk about me all the time, I don't go there because that doesn't make me money. So personally, so I don't give a shit what this person says about me. So I think personally, if Vicky is doing this to like get to the top of the charts and this is her MO to have the podcast listened to, I actually am okay with that. If not, it's like you're not on the show. All of this, you're not making any money. So why are you doing this? Like, what's the point? Does that make any sense? That's just where my mind goes. If it's for the podcast, great. It worked this week. I don't know what your long-term plan is, girlfriend. But if it's just like you're in the weeds with Tamra, well, Tamra is actually on the show earning a shitload of money and you're not. So don't you just want to go live a wonderful life? Go on.
Mm. Well, I
I
enjoyed
told you I had a lot to say.
nobody, I guess, like, what's interesting is you're sort of coming to the defense of the rat, and we've actually been the rat's strongest critics because I see most people this crying video again, I couldn't see a tear, but okay,
Well, we haven't gotten there. We're just at the first part. Let's not give me too much credit for being with a rat. But I'm before, yes. I
I
didn't
don't
mean
see
to
anyone
interrupt you, but yeah.
I don't see anyone defending the rat.
I mean, do you think she went too low with bringing up Sidney? And what is Sidney's response? You read that thing I sent
I
you?
mean, this is fascinating. So Sidney went on Facebook, and I mean, I have to tell you, this is my true feeling. I like these women. They've given a lot to the franchise. Do they seem desperate now? Yes. Does Tamra and the Melon Ball have a really great? Were they the first to kind of revolutionize the ex-housewife and housewife podcast evolution? Yeah, they've got actually a really great big podcast. Okay.
They do.
Um, it's to me, it's really pathetic. They're going so low. However, I didn't think Vicky said anything that we haven't already heard and we don't know. Now, Sidney herself posted in the past, week or so. I want to start by clearing some things up as my mother continues to talk about me despite me requesting her to stop speaking of me publicly as I don't want to be associated with her or the show. For starters, I did not move out when my parents got a divorce, nor did I choose my father's side in the divorce. My parents separated in 2010. I moved out of my mother's house in 2013. Me leaving has nothing to do with the divorce. It has to do with the living conditions at my mother Tamra's house and why she treated me and still treat the way she treated me and still treats me today. In regards to choosing sides, I